Well, hello there. Thank you so much for joining. I'm at home. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel. I'll give it just another minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. This is the premiere. I am Maggie, the substitute teacher. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Once you join in, if you care to introduce yourself, feel free. If not, you're welcome to watch from the clouds. Looks like we've got somebody on here. Thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them for you, but you can go ahead and type them in the chat. If you're able to hear and see okay, if you would just let me know that. I'll start off by telling a little bit about my story when it comes to the cooking and the snacks so far. And then I will tell a little bit about why I started this channel. Hi, guys. Welcome. Thanks, everybody who's joining. So, I have been on a weight loss journey, and like I said, I'm now down 62 pounds. So, I have 38 to go. Super excited. I finally found something that works for me. Some of you may be able to relate. Thanks for the thumbs up. Some of you all may be able to relate if you've ever struggled maintaining a healthy weight. I've always been, a bigger girl, plus size, but it never really stopped me from doing anything. I played sports in school. I traveled, been married, two boys, just an active mom. And, like what happens to all of us, it just kind of adds on over the years. And if you don't take control of it, it can take control of you. So, what ended up happening to me? Um, Hi, thank you so much. Welcome, Charles. What ended up happening to me is I love to travel. I've been to so many countries. Before the pandemic, I'm part of a travel group, and we used to travel every year. And it's one of those groups where there's a bus that arrives in front of the hotel, and you board the bus, and then it takes you around to the different sightseeing spots, and you get out and you can walk around. And I noticed that, at my age, I'll share with you guys, I'm 46. So in my early 40s, I was always pulling up the rear. I had injured my knee, but as we get older, and especially if you're carrying that extra weight, it's just hard to move around. And I was like, I don't want to be the one that everybody's waiting on. I don't want this to be my story. And so, it was one of those things where I said, I'm going to take control of this, but like you guys know, I've tried a lot of things and you lose the weight. I had always lost it, to get into a wedding dress or for an event, and then the weight would come back on plus more. So fast forward to before we all got sent to work from home, I saw a woman at work who looked like she was slimming down, and you never really want to ask anybody their private business, but one day she was really dressed up. She was kind of a more plain person on most days, but she had a dress on, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to ask. You look amazing. How have you lost the weight? And she said something that I had never heard before, right? Because I've tried it all. She said that she went and got her gut checked, and I had never heard about that. And so I started asking some questions, and long story short, she ended up going to see a metabolic specialist that tested her for food sensitivities. And I said, well, that's something I haven't tried before. I've tried everything, why not this? So I ended up going to the metabolic specialist. I made my appointment. And when I went in and, talked to the specialist, she took one look at me and she said, you're not really that big. Like your frame is not really that big. You have a lot of inflammation. And I had never heard that before, right? Because it had always been about the number on the scale. And I said, inflammation, I said, I'm really achy, the joint pain that I had, it was kind of, when you get up from sitting down for a long time and you put weight on your joints, it's just kind of like I had to, kind of walk it out. I was just stiff and achy. I was taking, you know, 2 pain pills, then 4, then 6. And I was afraid of what I was becoming. So when she mentioned this thing, inflammation, I said, well, you know what? Can't hurt to give it a try. So what she did is she swabbed the inside of my cheek, like with a little Q-tip swab, and then she put it in like a bag or a container to ship it off somewhere. And then she also took, not this much, but she took some hair clippings, from the back. And I was like, this is the weirdest thing ever, but I'm here. Maggie, what have you gotten yourself into, right? And so she's like, I'll put a report together for you. And when your results come back in, I'll give you a call and we'll talk about it. I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this, right? So a few days later, she called me. She had emailed me a full report, and it had a listing of foods that I was either mildly or highly sensitive to. And I was shocked, you guys, when I got this report. A lot of it was food that I had been eating all of the time: chicken, citrus, dairy, gluten. I think there was cabbage. There was some stuff I don't eat, like Melba toast. It was a full listing of foods that my body was reacting to. Hi, Adara. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining. So I received my list of foods that I was sensitive to, and she also included a meal plan. And so basically, I started from scratch. And what I decided to do was, I'm going to give this a try, a good faith effort. I got rid of everything that wasn't on my list of okay foods, and that's where the substitution started. Hence the Maggie the substitute teacher. So basically, I had to start substituting the foods that I loved for the foods that love me back. So, for example, I started eating turkey instead of chicken. I started drinking almond milk instead of regular milk. I started eating apples instead of oranges. And when I was making those substitutions, my life completely changed. And what do I mean by that? So within 48 hours of changing my diet, I hadn't lost any weight. I have a lot to lose. I've lost over 60 pounds. I've got almost 40 more to go. But I had just gotten used to being in so much pain. Like I said, when I would get up first thing in the morning or get out of the car after a long commute, I had all of this joint pain and I was kind of limping along. I remember on day number 3, I got out of the bed in the morning just like usual, and I just marched my way into the bathroom. And I got in the bathroom and I realized, whoa, I didn't limp in here. I'm feeling amazing. My back doesn't hurt anymore. My movements are better. So much had changed after 48 hours of substituting the foods that I was sensitive to. So, you all, my mind was blown. From that point on, I was committed to eating the foods that I don't react to. Now, here's the thing: I love to eat and I love to cook. And for me to be successful, whatever plan I'm on has to be sustainable. It's something that I have to be able to eat this way for the rest of my life because I tested it out, and I'll tell you guys what I did. Again, if you have any questions, even if you're watching the replay, feel free to put them in the chat, or you can just listen to story time. That's fine too. So what ended up happening is I started eating on this food plan, feeling amazing. And then the weight was coming off as a byproduct. So I ate to stay pain free. And then the weight loss is the benefit. And usually when you have a weight loss journey, you're focused on the number on the scale, right? You're focused on getting the weight off. But I decided to experiment within the list of foods that are okay for me and wild out within that little box. So I tested it because I was thinking, okay, there's no way. I haven't lost any weight yet. It's only been 3 days, right? There's no way I'm feeling this amazing. There's no way I have this much energy. My mind is clear. Um, thank you, Adara. So I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. So what ended up happening, I remember I started in January, and I'm slow, guys. This is just what I do for life. There's no, target. I mean, of course we have a goal, but I'm not trying to lose 100 pounds in 90 days. But I remember Valentine's Day was coming up just like it is now, and I had already made plans and to travel or go somewhere or do something. I can't remember exactly what. I think it was a cruise. Yes, we were going on a cruise. And I said, look, I've got this trip. Yes, 3 days after the substitution, the food substitutions, and I was completely out of pain. And I don't know if you caught in the beginning, I had been taking pain pills up to 10 a day. It was that bad because my metabolic specialist said that I was actually suffering from inflammation. And that's something I'd never heard before. So here's how I tested it out, guys. Thank you all for the thumbs up. So I said, look, we've got this cruise, it's paid for. I want to enjoy myself. She was like, fine, go for it. I wonder if she knew what would happen. She probably knew. She was like, yeah, go ahead, enjoy yourself on the cruise. It was like a 3 day, 4 day, just an extended weekend. And, get back on it when you come back. And that to me was kind of strange because it's like usually, when you're on some type of strict plan, you can't have a crumb any different, right? You guys, we went on this cruise and boy, did I enjoy myself. I had everything. I had the sweets, I had the savory, I had the starches. I ate it all. I did. And immediately the pain came back. Went to bed, woke up on the cruise, and I'm limping into the bathroom. My knee hurts, my back hurts. Everything is just tight. I'm feeling puffy. But I just pushed through it because I was like, doggone it, I'm going to enjoy myself. I know that sounds nuts, but sometimes you just want what you want, right? I'm a real person. We're real people here. That is how I knew, okay, I started this in January. I might have been down 10 pounds. February, we went on the Valentine's cruise, ate everything, felt miserable. And what ended up happening is when I came back, hi guys, thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, I do see the thumbs up, and I see that people are watching. So I appreciate you guys joining in. This is the premiere, and I'll let you know kind of how we got here. So after wilding out on the cruise, even for just a long weekend, I actually looked forward to eating my own food again because, yes, I had a wonderful time on the trip, but I felt miserable. Hey, Keisha, thank you so much for joining in. So I enjoyed the cruise, aches and pains, pushed through it, came back, and it actually propelled me to get right back on my plan because now I know what I'm eating. I can control what comes into my home. I'm the one preparing the foods. And so I went back to my list of foods that I'm not sensitive to. And I just started eating, as best as I can within that list. It's mainly lean proteins. I avoid sugar, I avoid starches, I avoid dairy when I can. That's what works for me. There's so many things that work for different people. So how did we get to this YouTube channel? So, like I said, I love to eat and I do enjoy cooking. I'm a boy mom times two. So I'm always cooking, big comfort food for boy appetites. But I decided to experiment. I've got my list of foods that I can eat that I'm not sensitive to. I decided to experiment. And the pandemic actually really helped because before I was working in the office like everyone else, I had to be really mindful to plan ahead and pack something so I don't end up in the, vending machine. But when I work, at home, I would keep the TV on the cooking shows. And I would just keep it on mute. You know how sometimes you go somewhere and the news is just on blasting? I did that for the cooking shows. any food channel, I would have it on just as I was doing things around the house for inspiration. And when I would see something and I'll be like, oh man, that dish looks amazing, but I can't have pasta, but I can have zucchini noodles. So I would recreate recipes that I saw either on TV or online or on social media, and I would substitute the ingredients that I was sensitive to for the ones that I can have. And so that's really how it all started. Thank you so much, Keisha. So, yes, that's what the Maggie, the substitute teacher, is all about. And so, like I said, I started cooking the foods that I can have, but because I enjoy it and I want to enjoy the dining experience, right? I love serving and cooking for others, and I want to sit down to a plate that I look forward to as well. I just started sharing what I was eating. Yes, the ingredients, absolutely, Keisha. I just started sharing on my social, on my Facebook. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram. It is Margaret A. Brown. I need to figure out how to change it to Maggie, the substitute teacher. I just started on TikTok, Maggie, the substitute teacher. So more is coming. So I just started sharing these pictures of this is what I'm eating today for two reasons. One, because I was told that I was good at what I did and people seemed to enjoy it. And then two, it kind of keeps me accountable. It's easy to go underground and just kind of be like, yeah, thanks for the thumbs up, everyone. Um, it's easy to just kind of go and do whatever you want to do, right? We've all been there. But for me, a certain level of accountability is announcing that, hey, I'm on this weight loss journey and this is what I'm eating, and everything that you see me post is something that I'm actually making and I'm actually eating. And I want it to look nice on the plate and I want it to taste good. I've started substituting some of the things for the kids because, they don't need all of that sugar and they actually enjoy a lot of the food that I eat. So that's basically how we got here. Again, if you guys have any questions or any recipe suggestions, I'm always open to trying new things. I have such a confidence now for the first time in my life that I'm finally going to reach my weight loss goals. It's not anything you know severe. I just want to get back to the size that I was in high school. I'm really at a point now because I don't have that joint pain anymore. I don't have to take any medication. I was borderline, what is it, diabetic? Yeah, borderline. My blood levels are all normal now. I had elevated blood pressure. That is all normal now. I think it was like 116 over 72 the last time I went to the dentist and they check your blood pressure. Um, I had elevated cholesterol. That's all normal now from substitutions. And, I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. It's definitely easier once you've made the decision. The decision is the hardest part, but I had invested in this and now I have, kind of my booklet, right? My little Bible, if you will, of what I need to eat. So wherever I go, if I travel, if I'm cooking or if someone else is cooking, or even if I go someplace and I plan to indulge, I know when I sit down and have this, I'm going to pay for it in the morning. And without fail, I'm going to be a little achy for a day or so until it kind of, flushes out of my system, drinking a lot of water and just getting back on track. And that's what I do. If you guys have any questions or anything that you want me to try and recreate, what I'm doing right now, I didn't realize I had so much content. Like I shared with you guys, I have been posting just on my personal pages, what I was eating and what I was cooking. And so many people would comment, that looks amazing, or they would comment, you need to come out with a cookbook, or they would comment with, when you have a cookbook, I need an autograph copy. And, actually, someone very close to me was like, "You really need to start a YouTube channel." And I was like, "What? Why?" And, he came up with the name, Maggie the substitute teacher, because you're always doing these substitutions. And I just said, you know what? What can it hurt? Just documenting my journey. And so far, I'm having a blast. So I try to post at least a couple times a day because I've found a way that's very sustainable for me because I eat every day. So I'm going to cook every day or come up with something that I can share with you guys because I know sometimes you get in a rut when it comes to eating. And, I like to toss things together with what I have on hand, but I have completely changed the way that I eat. And I feel amazing. And, at middle age, at 46, I see now, as I'm aging and as I approach 50, thank you so much. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Keisha. I need help, you guys. I'm a newbie here, but I'm just going out on a limb because I know a lot of us struggle with whatever it is. Maybe it's not weight for you. Maybe you're trying to get your numbers, in line if they're out of line. Maybe you have aches and pains. It could be anything. But yeah, now I'm very intentional about what I put in my mouth. And that doesn't mean that I'm strict. Look, if I'm going to eat something, I'm going to eat it. But having that information, it's kind of like the 80-20 rule. I need to get back on it. And I'm back on it now that the holidays are here. I found a really good way to maintain, but I still have more weight that I want to lose because spring break is coming and, the summer is coming, and I'm confident and I'm putting it out there that I'm going to be done. I want to lose maybe like 15 more pounds definitely by like April timeframe, spring break. And then I want to lose like the last 25 pounds, in the balance of the year, summer. But yeah, this has been my journey. Um, I'm so glad that you guys joined. I just wanted to hop on here for the premiere. If you have any questions, has anybody found something that's worked for you? Any struggles, any hacks? Um, let's see, people seem to like that the recipes that I put together are pretty simple, with just regular ingredients. So what you'll see, my format of my videos is literally, thank you, hello, Akata, thank you so much for joining. Um, what I do is I just go through my photos because that's one thing. I'm always taking pictures. I'm kind of a shutterbug. I take pictures when I travel. I take pictures, when I'm home. I take pictures when I'm out. I love being able to remember experiences through photos. And I had just been doing that of food and lasagna. Ooh, I got a good one for you. Um, so I had been taking pictures of food and they were just in my phone. And sometimes when I would say, oh, I don't know what to eat, I would scroll back through my own photos and be like, I've got this, I've got that. I can toss something together. And so I just started sharing with you all the pictures that I've taken of the food that I've made. And what I'm doing on the YouTube channel that's different. Before, I just used to post the finished product and I would post, the ingredients and kind of summarize it. But now I'm actually walking you guys through the steps. Hi, thank you so much. Yes, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining. So again, I am Maggie, the substitute teacher. I'm new here. Yes, definitely want to shout out the lead attorney. He's somebody that's kind of pushed me to go ahead and start something that hopefully is helpful. All right, so Keisha, you talked about lasagna. There's a couple lasagnas that I've made. I will find the pictures and I will post for you today. I've got a couple pasta substitutes that I'll post today. So I saw a lasagna with squash noodles because I avoid grains. So squash noodles, you take the yellow squash and you use like a vegetable peeler and you peel layers of the squash lengthwise. You could probably do it with zucchini too. So if you think of your lasagna noodles or your lasagna sheets, but instead of pasta, it's the vegetable. And you can just microwave them just to kind of soften them a little bit, sprinkle some salt, put them in the microwave to steam them with like a wet paper towel. And then basically you layer your lasagna using squash as the noodles. So whatever meat sauce, if you're using ground turkey or ground beef or even Italian sausage, whatever works for you. You know how to make your ragu sauce with your onions, peppers, mushrooms, whatever oil you know how to make a pasta sauce. And then yeah, you can make your cheese mix or your ricotta with your parmesan. Anyway, I've got it all pictures coming, and once we hop off this live, I'll post that for you. But yeah, literally, you just do the layers. So your squash noodles, your meat sauce, your ricotta, and then you repeat your squash noodles, your meat sauce, and your ricotta, and then you top it with the cheese that you like. I thank you, Keisha. I try to avoid dairy, and so my metabolic specialist has approved goat milk or goat cheese for me, and I found some that I really like. So when you guys watch the videos, you'll see some of the pepper jack, shredded cheese, creamy cheeses. You can use that as a substitute for cream cheese. So, Mr. Akata, hi. Long story short, and you'll see in the beginning, I went to see a metabolic specialist who tested me for food sensitivity. So, I guess you could call it an elimination diet, but she swabbed the inside of my cheek and took some hair clippings and sent it off to a lab. And then I got results back with a list of foods that I'm sensitive to, and they cause me inflammations. So, basically, I avoid those foods, and hence the name Maggie the Substitute Teacher. So I substitute the foods that I used to love for foods that love me. So within that list of okay foods, I love to cook. Um, yes, thank you, Charles. And so Keisha, that's a great recipe for lasagna. And then I have another one I'm going to post after this. I'm going to get something to eat. And then I post one that I saw. I think that one might have come from Tasty or Food Network somewhere. I'll find it for you. And then I do follow another chef. I love all of the food stuff. So you guys can send me whatever you like and I'll try to recreate it. There's a TikTok chef, I think it's Chef Erin Morley, that I saw her make a ramen bowl, but instead of ramen noodles, she used spaghetti squash. So if you're familiar with spaghetti squash, when you steam it, and you rake it out, it has this stringy texture. And so I made that and it was excellent. And you basically use your soy sauce and your sesame and oil and ginger, garlic, and brown sugar, but I substituted one of the sweeteners that I use. And so you make like your sauce or your paste, and then you put the noodles in there, and then uh, like a ramen or a noodle bowl or fried rice, you crack an egg. I cracked 2 eggs because I had it as a meal and I wanted a little extra protein. And you basically just cook it all in there. And it, oh my God, it was so good. Sometimes I surprise myself, I enjoy eating. I enjoy cooking for others and I enjoy cooking for myself. So we got a couple minutes left. I'm not going to keep you guys long. Any other questions? So we've got a lasagna post that's coming. I'm thinking about doing these lives at least once a week. I do post recipes at least twice a day to keep myself on track too, because if I'm sharing it, then I got to make sure, okay, I'm doing what I said I was going to do. But yeah, I could do these lives, once a week. I'm very basic. I don't really have any other fancy, special effects or whatnot. Maybe twice a week, Saturdays and Sundays, because I know we're all busy. But that's it. That's how I got started. And that's what encouraged me to start this YouTube channel. And I'm just so grateful that you guys are here and that it's helping. And yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting my goal. And, I guess the reason why this time it's different is because, this is what I'm going to do for life. This is just how I eat now. I've completely changed the way that I eat, and I feel amazing. And I'm happy to share with anyone who's interested. So, thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to let you go and let you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Again, you can find me on Instagram. It's Margaret A. Brown. I'm going to look at how to change it. So I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher on all platforms. I do have a TikTok that's Maggie the Substitute Teacher, where you'll find some of the same videos, and here on YouTube. So thank you, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.